How do you capture a high-value target when the whole world is watching? You create a masterclass in deception. In a fictional alternate reality, the CIA set the stage using a single building as bait and filled the sky with over 150 aircraft, creating a deafening sonic shield for helicopters carrying Delta Force operators. Flares lit up the perimeter, turning night into day. By the time the dust settled, the helicopters had already touched down, and Maduro was gone. In this video, I'll also explore how the United States could use F-35 jets and its Navy to launch a large-scale operation. In the dead of night, around 2 a.m., the lights went out across Caracas. By 5 a.m., the president of Venezuela had vanished. But how did the U.S. execute a deception operation while the entire world focused on aircraft carriers in the Caribbean? While the cameras watched the sea, a shadow war was unfolding on the ground. This was not an invasion. It was a surgical extraction. We now examine a fictional declassified timeline of how U.S. forces could breach the heart of Caracas and extract Nicolas Maduro. Step 1. The setup. This didn't happen overnight. For months, the United States tightened what appeared to be a naval quarantine around Venezuela. The U.S. Carrier Strike Group and an Amphibious Ready Group were positioned offshore. The official pretext was clear. Venezuela had been designated a narco-terrorist state, with operations publicly framed around targeting drug networks. But while the Navy pressured the coastline, intelligence assets were tracking one man. They waited for a precise window, a moment when Maduro would be stationary, predictable, and vulnerable. Step 2. The strike. The operation began at exactly 2 a.m. Venezuelan Standard Time. High above the country, several F-35 stealth fighters punched through enemy defenses, disrupting radar and anti-air systems, including Russian-made S-300 missile batteries positioned around high-value targets. With the skies effectively neutralized, the path opened for Delta Force helicopters to move toward the objective. Here came the deception. As helicopters advanced, jets struck military infrastructure, including Fort Tuna, the main command center, and La Carlota Air Base, destabilizing Venezuelan air support. Reports described explosions, communications blackouts, and widespread confusion. The chaos was not the goal. It was the cover. Step 3. The ground operation. Under darkness and confusion, 2-1 operators went to work. The unit tasked with the mission was Delta Force, one of the most elite and secretive special operations units in the world. Witnesses in Caracas later reported low-flying aircraft skimming rooftops, flying below radar coverage. The team breached a secure compound believed to be a safe house inside the Fort Tuna complex. Resistance from the Presidential Guard was rapid but ultimately ineffective as helicopters provided suppressive fire. Operators moved with surgical speed, landing at multiple points simultaneously. Step 4. Capture and extraction. Specialized helicopters hovered over the objective as assault teams inserted, while attack aircraft suppressed the surrounding positions. Delta operators conducted the search for the high-value target. How did they locate him? According to this fictional scenario, the CIA had planted an asset inside Maduro's inner circle. Months earlier, Delta Force had built a full-scale replica of the compound inside the United States, rehearsing the raid until every movement was memorized. The breach happened in seconds. Flashbangs disoriented security before they could react. Operators forced entry before doors could be locked. Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, were secured immediately. There were no negotiations. They were moved directly to the extraction point. The escaped helicopters lifted off within minutes. These aircraft were capable of urban extraction and mid-air refueling. Soon, they were airborne, exiting Venezuelan airspace and heading toward a secure floating staging base in the Caribbean. Operation Southern Spear, in this alternate reality, reshaped the geopolitical landscape of South America overnight. Why F-35s and not F-16s? Reports in this fictional scenario also highlight why the US relied on F-35 stealth fighters instead of older F-16s. Venezuela is portrayed as a heavily militarized environment, equipped with advanced Russian S-300 systems, Chinese radar networks, integrated air defenses, and reconnaissance drones. Such an environment would be extremely dangerous for non-stealth aircraft. As of 2025, Venezuela's Air Force is centered around approximately 21 Sukhoi Su-30 multi-role fighters, supported by a small number of aging F-16s suffering from maintenance and parts shortages. The F-35's stealth design, sensor fusion, and electronic warfare capabilities would allow it to penetrate contested airspace, suppress air defenses, and share real-time battlefield data. Operating from Puerto Rico or amphibious assault ships in the Caribbean, F-35s could reach Venezuelan targets rapidly, supported by aerial refueling tankers. This combination of sea-based power, stealth aviation, and special operations creates a flexible and overwhelming force posture. Final thought. In essence, this fictional scenario shows how modern use military doctrine combines deception, stealth, intelligence, and precision to dominate contested environments. It's a strategy designed not for occupation, but for speed, surprise, and decisive action. We'll also be breaking down the sea, air, and land components of modern power projection in future videos. So subscribe and don't miss what comes next.